Hello, my name is Mandy, and today we're going to be learning about Rivka, which you guys told me is a prophet. Okay, so first I'm going to do a little activity, okay? So, can I please have Hannah? Can you please turn off the light back there?
Hannah.
And then...
She turned off the light.
Can you please turn off that light?
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I do it?
Scary!
You're not on TV.
It's dark.
Well, she's gonna be able to light the candle.
Light the house.
So we'll see what happens.
Do it.
Okay. So, lighting a candle. This doesn't work so well, but okay. So
You can't see the light on the camera. Oh, so pretty.
okay. So imagine this room were even darker. Like
Whoa. I'm scared.
and then okay, we won't make it any darker. But how far does the light go?
Not far.
Not far.
So imagine this room were like even darker. What do you think?
I would go
You'd
far.
only see your nose.
You'd only see your nose? Imagine there was like no light in here. Would you always be able to see the candle
Yeah.
Yes.
from wherever you were?
Yes.
No.
If you were in that corner or in that corner, would you still see the flame?
Yeah.
Okay, but would you still see the chair?
No.
Right, because it would be pitch black. So this candle, which if this room were darker we would see, represents Rivka. Okay, so we're going to learn why, and why she was a little flame, and what the darkness was around that she showed so much light in. Okay? So now we can turn the lights back on, please.
Can I blow it out?
We'll leave it on
Okay.
for a class, no?
It's gonna blow up.
Okay. So, what holiday did we just have?
What are you doing? What are you doing? I made a happy face. How's the color?
So we're gonna learn all about Rivka and happy faces.
Shira.
Okay. So, what holiday did we just have, Shira?
Hanukkah.
Okay. Did you guys learn a little bit about Hanukkah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So, what time of year is Hanukkah? What does it look like outside?
Winter.
Winter, right?
January.
Okay, good. So, what did you guys learn where we keep our menorahs? Yeah?
In front of our window.
Okay, good. Why?
Because we want the whole world to know that we're like different and stuff.
Okay, perfect.
What she said.
Okay, good. You said it just as well. So, imagine, so we're looking outside, right? And it's like totally dark, right? It's winter, right? And then we have all these menorahs everywhere, okay? So, what does that do? What does that do for all the darkness in the winter that we have?
It puts light out there.
Okay, perfect. Okay? So, that's what Rivka did. So, I want to tell you a little bit about how she grew up. Okay? Does anybody know where Rivka grew up?
In the house of Lavan.
Okay, good. What was Lavan like? Who was Lavan, firstly, to Rivka?
I think her brother.
Okay, good. Was he a nice guy?
No.
Not so much.
He did idol worship.
Okay, good. So he didn't like God. He didn't believe in God, right? He and everyone else in that whole society prayed to like idols. Okay? Does anybody know anything else about how Rivka grew up?
In the house of her father, Besua.
Oh, you guys are so good. Yeah, that's awesome.
No, that's just fun. Yeah.
Okay, good. So Basuel, good. Did you have something to add? No, me?
No, she just, yeah.
Okay, good. And what was he like?
Like a bad.
Okay, he was also bad, right? So, let's get this straight. We got Rivka growing up in a house with a really evil dad and a really evil brother. What do you think she should come out like?
Evil.
An evil girl, daughter,
Good, okay?
sister.
But we know better, and we know that that didn't happen to her, right? Who was her dad?
Bezua.
Basual. And who was her brother?
Lavan.
Lavan. Okay, so she grew up. Guys, she grew up in a really evil home. Okay, so as we said, we would expect that she would be evil. Okay, but she actually, what she learned is from being in that home, she learned how to be moral. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that the only way that she learned to be moral is because she kept on seeing immoral people around her. Okay? She saw her dad being immoral, she saw her brother being immoral, and that taught her to be moral. Okay? So, have you ever heard of the saying, the rose among the thorns?
No.
Yes.
Okay, good. So what does it mean?
It means good, brown, bad.
The good about the bad.
Okay, good, good.
Like,
so you have all these
middle of that, that's
thorns.
really good.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So actually, what Chazal tell us, like our sages, is that explain that when a rose grows, okay, among the thorns actually rub against the petals, and they take the scent from the petals, and they actually end up smelling like the petals. Right? So we know that they didn't really, so if Rivka was the rose and Lavan and Basuah were the thorns, we know that didn't really happen. But we know that she was able to be a rose when there were so many thorns. Right? Okay. So what do we learn from her exactly? So how was she this light in this darkness? Okay? So does anyone know how she ended up going eventually to marry Yitzchak?
Yeah.
One day, Abraham sent his servant, I'm not sure his name.
Eliezer, very good.
To find a wife for Yitzchak.
Great.
And then he decided that who would give him water would be Yitzchak's wife.
And her camels.
And his camels.
Okay, so that was the key, right? What Elka just said was the key to the story, to add on to you, that he went with camels to a well, okay? And what would people generally think if they saw a guy looking for water? Who would they offer water to?
The guy.
The guy.
The guy, right?
We also offer to the camel.
Good, okay. So
Well,
this...
I thought camels could keep water in their bodies for days.
So they might be able to, but they still need the water, right? That's an interesting fact. Thank you for sharing that.
Water for.
Pardon?
What do they need the water?
They hold it actually.
Because they're walking in the
Mhm.
But once they're empty, it takes a lot of water to fill them again.
Right.
It's like a SUV. When you're trying to fill a tank in a van.
Yes.
It's going and going. Yeah. The gas pump never seems to stop.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So basically what happened is we would think that, so what did Eliezer say? What did Abraham's servant say? He said, how am I going to know who the best person for Abraham's son is? How am I going to know? I'm going to know if she offers not only me to drink, but she offers the camels to drink too. Okay? So that's exactly what happened. So, what we learn about her is that she grew up in this house of complete evil. Okay? People yes, they worshipped idols. Okay? They didn't believe in God, they didn't believe in morals, they didn't believe in values. And here we have Rivka, who was this beautiful person who was a light, like on Hanukkah, who was a light in this dark, dark home. Okay? So what happened? So they're at the well, and she went above and beyond. How? Because you all said, what would we have thought? We would have thought that it would have been that she just offered him water, right? Even that's nice. But she even said, you know what? You can drink, but your camels can drink too. And what does that show about a person? Know me?
That she cares about like more people than just her or him.
Perfect. Shira, did you have something to add?
No.
Okay. So that's
They like camels. Wasn't it also that the water came after her?
Say that again, please.
Because there was a huge like
the
rock.
water came up to her, which one of the reason why he wanted to take her.
No, you're mumbling.
Explain what you mean.
Like when she put the bucket to the well, the water came up.
Instead of her have to instead of her have to go back and forth.
Oh, okay. So that could be. So that's for that's for different reasons, right? That's definitely I believe that did happen, but for different reasons.
Wasn't there a rock? No, that was a rock.
Yes. So what we learn is that she comes from this awful background, but she ended up being this person who did unbelievable chesed, right? Unbelievable kindness. And it wasn't just that she did a little bit. She looked for opportunities. Okay? So today we can always be doing that, right? There's always things that present themselves to us, right? Like we say, oh, let's go and do, this is an act of chesed, right? If it comes to us. But what are ways that we can look to try and find them ourselves? Instead of acts of kindness just coming to us. What's the difference?
You can offer to help someone.
Okay, good. So we don't just see someone necessarily falling with their bags at the grocery store, right? But even we can see someone, we can go up to them and ask them how to help them, right? Any other ideas? How we can, often what happens is when we do chesed, it comes to us and we do chesed, right? But I'm still asking, like, how can we be like Rivka and look for opportunities to do chesed? So this was a good example. Yeah.
You could give tzedakah.
Okay, very good. Okay, we can also do it in other ways that are extra, right?
Clothing.
Say again?
Clothing.
Clothing. Very good. Okay. Food. Okay, you get the idea. So that was what was special about her, okay? And finally, what she teaches us is that the reason I asked you to come up with different scenarios and stories is because she teaches us that when there's something that's bad that happens, right, girls? When there's something that's bad that happens, like your surroundings, okay, like her evil father and her evil brother, when there are these bad things that happen to us, that we can overcome them, okay? And it's very, very special because what she did is, so we know that in the Torah it's written, actually, that about her marriage to Yitzchak, their marriage is written 4 times in the Torah, okay? That's a lot. 4 times in the Torah tells us about how her and Rivka and Yitzchak got married. Yeah.
But isn't like if my teacher always says like why you say it like 4 times? Like the Torah doesn't really repeat things like.
Right, exactly. So it doesn't just repeat things for no reason, right? So there's obviously an importance behind it. So there's so many reasons, good question, there's so many reasons why it's written 4 times, right? One of the reasons is because it's one of the first marriages that we see so much, right? We don't see so many people getting married all the time. When we see their marriage, we see how they met. And another reason is because the two of them from their homes both passed on these values to everyone. Okay, what was the value? That even if you remember, and I don't know if you've learned so much about Abraham, but he also came from a society of evil people, right? A lot of the characters that we read about and we learn from in the Torah came from evil backgrounds and evil surroundings, okay? So what does that do for us to be in an evil surrounding?
Makes it better.
Good. So how? Very good.
We learn.
What did you say? What did you say?
We learn.
We know that it's like bad, so like you want to be better.
Okay, perfect. Very good.
We learn not to be like that because we can see, we see what's bad and what's like maybe before then if they wouldn't think that what they were doing was bad, but then when they saw the other people doing it, they realized it was a bad thing to do.
Okay, very good. And they don't want their life to be like that, right? Okay. So that's exactly what Rivka and Yitzchak passed on they passed it on to Yaakov, right? And we know that Yaakov then had the 12 tribes, and the whole nation was born. And it was born on this understanding that in the world there's going to be immoral people. There's going to be people who don't have our values, but it can only make us better, and it can only make us stronger, right? Just like we can learn that we're like a candle in a dark place, and that even if we think that the world is maybe very dark, that we can still it makes us even better. It doesn't even bring us down, it makes us better. Okay? So these are the important lessons that we learned from Rivka. And does anybody have any questions or comments? Yes.
That was an excellent way of explaining like the rose and the thorn and the candle, and I just really like that explanation.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, that is Rivka.